Good morning, everybody. Today's date is August 29th, 2022. Welcome to the class Buddhism 408, Buddhist Philosophy. Today is our 8th session. 2 more sessions to go. And last week we were discussing about the morals and ethics in Buddhism, Buddhist philosophy, how important they are in a religion, and especially on the backdrop of Buddhist teaching, Buddhist philosophy, how important these things were. And today, we are going to focus on different area in the sense that in Buddhist philosophy, just after the passing away of the Buddha, the immediate 2 centuries after the passing of the Buddha, how Buddhist philosophy developed. What are the later developments in Buddhism after the passing of the Buddha? When you say later developments, even now, after 26 centuries later, even now, changes are happening in Buddhist philosophy. But now we are not going to focus on all the big history, but we are going to pay our attention to the immediate, about 2 centuries immediately after the passing of the Buddha. Because it's very important how Buddhist teachings, how Buddhist philosophy underwent certain developments, and how later monks interpreted the teachings of the Buddha. That's the beginning of the interpretations, beginning of the later development. So that's why that time period is important. So when the Buddha was alive, immediately before he passed away, his life incidents are recorded in a particular sutra called Maha Parinibbana Sutta. Maha Parinibbana Sutta means the sutra on the great disease of the Buddha. That's how it is, the title has been given. So the incidents, the events that took place just before the passing of the Buddha, those things are recorded in that particular discourse. So in this sutra, you find very important incident. Buddha was Buddha was with his personal attendant, Ananda, Venerable Ananda, and Buddha was asking the question, he was raising the question, he was asking the Venerable Ananda, what do you think, Ananda, after my passing, what would happen to my, who would be the teacher? Who would be your teacher? This is how it is said. The doctrine is such that it is rendered teacherless. We are without a teacher. The Ananda was saying like that before. In Buddhism, in Buddhist philosophy, one of the great things is that there is no teacher. Buddha was the teacher, yes. But Buddha himself thought that his teacher is nobody but the teachings, Dharma. Dharma is the teacher. There is no personal teacher. The teachings itself, teachings themselves are the teacher. It's very beautiful. There is no personal teacher, but the teachings given by the Buddha themselves become the teacher. So this idea is there. If the Buddha passes away, it is imminent at that time, it's about to pass away, and then the Buddha was saying, after my passing, nobody else will be the teacher but my teachings. So the teacher position was given to his own teachings, his own message. This is very important. And then the monks, Ananda and the other monks, took extra care on the teachings of the Buddha, because the Buddha says that after my passing, these teachings will be your teacher, and not nobody else. These teachings will be your teacher. So then you have to be really careful about the teachings, because your teacher is going to be the teachings. So the monks, just after the passing of the Buddha, they got together and they rehearsed. They sort of collected all the teachings and came together and put them in certain order, classified them. A lot of things happen because teachings will be the teacher. So our teacher will be the teaching. So we have to now safeguard, we have to now protect, we have to identify really what our teachings are. So they paid attention. So you should be able to understand what I'm trying to say here. The monks at that time, they wanted to really understand what Buddha's teachings are, and they wanted to classify them in certain way. They wanted to have a certain mechanism, certain structure to protect these teachings. And in that process, as you may know, just after the passing of the Buddha, 3 months after the passing of the Buddha, the monks had a big council. It's called the first council, first Sangayana, or the first council. And that one, that is the very important historical, not philosophical, okay? Historical event that took place after the passing of the Buddha. All the monks got together, important monks got together, and they classified the Buddha's teachings, and that's how the Tripitaka came into being. Tripitaka means the 3 baskets. The Buddha's teachings are classified into 3 sections: disciplinary teachings and discourses, the basic teachings of the Buddha, and then Abhidhamma, or the higher Dhamma. These 3 baskets were identified, and all the teachings that the Buddha had given during his 45 long years of ministry, the monks put them in these 3 baskets. These 3 Pitaka, basket means Pitaka, these 3 sections, they classified all of them. And that is how we have Tripitaka today. So this is the beginning of the later developments. This is a, scholastic method. Scholastic means like a scholarly work. Buddha did not do these things when he was alive. He did not put things in different baskets and this should go here, this should go here. No. Monks started doing this thing with the good intention, not doing harm to the Buddha's teachings, but with the good intention of protecting it and identifying them correctly. They did this thing. And this task is identified as a scholastic. I hope you understand the word scholastic, scholastic activity. So it is called scholasticism in Buddhism. Scholasticism in Buddhism means, trying to study Buddhism in systematic way. To study the Buddhist teachings in the systematic way, they put them in different baskets and started maintaining them putting them into memory. So some monks were responsible in carrying out this basket, another group of monks the other basket, like that. They kept those things in memory, learned by heart, and continued the teachings. So this is the beginning of the later developments. When it becomes scholastic, things change. Over the time, things underwent different interpretations, different ideas came into being, different developments took place. So Abhidhamma is the most significant development. Abhidhamma means the right scholastic teachings. Buddha did not use the technical terms and things like that when he was giving discourses, when he was teaching. He did not use those things. So in Abhidhamma, what you find is very systematic way of presenting the Buddha's teaching. Everything is in a certain way. Specific terms are used, and that's why it's called scholasticism. So this tradition started at that time, after the passing of the Buddha. There later 200 centuries, 200 years, sorry, not 200 centuries, 200 years, this development continued. And accordingly, you find Theravada Buddhism, Theravada Abhidhamma, and Sarvastivada Abhidhamma. Different schools arose in Buddhism, and they had different set of texts attached to their schools, belonging to them. So that is how later interpretations and later developments took place, started in Buddhism. Certain ideas were interpreted, certain teachings were interpreted in a different manner. New interpretations came into being. This is natural. Any given tradition, this happens. So it happened to Buddhism also. And the other important thing is, in that very same sutra that we were just mentioning, where when the Buddha was about to pass away, his life's events are mentioned in that sutra I told you. It's called Mahaparinirvana Sutra. In that sutra itself, the Buddha says that there are 4 places that a follower, that the disciple of the Buddha, any disciple of the Buddha should visit those 4 places and have some faith, some emotions, some feelings about the Buddha's life events. Those 4 places are the place where the Buddha was born, the place where he gave his first sermon, and the place where he attained enlightenment, and the place where he passed away. These 4 places, very important incidents of the Buddha's life. So those places, which those events that took place, they are very important places for Buddhists, the followers of the Buddha. They should visit these places and have certain kind of emotions towards the Buddha. So this saying recorded in this sutra. So the later monks, they thought, oh, these 4 places are related to our master, our teacher, our supreme Buddha. So Buddha's life is very important then, huh? So we have to represent the Buddha in a big way. He is a superhuman being. So the monks, later monks, they attributed certain superhuman qualities to the Buddha, and they started writing down the biography of the Buddha. Because before that, there were no such texts. In the Tripitaka, in many different places, you find the certain incidents of the life of the Buddha. But later monks, what they did was they collected those things, those incidents, and they prepared the Buddha's life story. There were many texts written in that line, reconstructing the Buddha's life story. Reconstructing, because it's not there. Some pieces are there, but these monks, what they did was they put those pieces into one place and made the picture. That is also a later development. When you are in that process, when you were in that process, things changed. Buddha attained a higher, very high status in their mind and in those texts. So you find in Buddha Vansa, Charya Pitaka, in I can give you many names, but then it will confuse you. So what I want to emphasize here is, for later developments in Buddhism, Buddhist philosophy, these two incidents that I mentioned here, these two incidents are very important. Depending on these two, based on these two incidents, later developments occurred in Buddhism. So the very first thing is the scholasticism, looking at Buddhist teachings in scholarly way, and expanding the Buddha's character, Buddha's lives into a gigantic figure. Buddha became a gigantic, big person after these developments took place. Later Buddhism, you will find that in Mahayana tradition came along, and they said Buddha is eternal. He is everywhere. Ideas like that. So these are very important incidents that took place in Buddhist philosophical history. So I just wanted to introduce you those two things. So in your book, you have a separate chapter 8. Yes, chapter 8. It's not a big chapter, only 2-3 pages, but please read it. And you can get this idea, you can, elaborate on what I just taught you. So the gist of the lecture here today is that after the 2 centuries, immediately after the passing of the Buddha, the 2 centuries, Buddhist philosophy had certain developments, and new interpretations came into being. That is the idea. So with that, we conclude today's lesson. And if you have any question, please feel free to email me, and you will get the homework assignment for today. And please do the homework, finish all your homework so that you can get good grades. Thank you very much.